It is 9:23 in the morning, looking at the SpaceX launch site in South Texas. Paul Marcos here with NASA Ocean Worlds, unaffiliated with NASA, checking out the launch site. It's a very windy day today. And if you're on the stream, congratulations. It's almost a foggy morning here. They have been bringing in methane tankers today to possibly do, I imagine, a static fire later this week, possibly Thursday, Friday, or the Monday following that. I'll get in front of the camera here. If you're a subscriber of Ocean Camera Space Corp, I am here for 24 hours. If you're a member here in Ocean Cam, you will notice I did put a message in the chat. It's a very windy, the wind's coming from over there. Good morning. I'll get over back. The wind's to our back. I did change the name. You like it? I'm gonna give it 24 hours and see if that affects the subscriber base here. See how much of a magnet the NASA in the name is for viewers and subscribers. You got to realize I am hilariously laughing and having a good time. Okay. I mean, we have some strong wind out here right now. Yep. You know, there was a viewer commented on a video this morning that such as, I think it was Sausage, got commented that, you know, he likes NSF, but that they don't have the commentary. So I thought, you know, why is the viewer mentioning the word NSF on the stream? So I thought, well, what the hell? I'll put NASA in the name and see how the turnout turns out to be. So this is going to be a 24-hour experiment. See how many new subscribers we get. Hey Tony, good morning. And see what happens. If we don't get any more subscribers, then I'll change it back. But if we get like 200 viewers, then maybe I'll keep it for a while. Not much going on today. Yeah, that's it, Carl. That's it. Yep. So there is a strong wind. I mean, maybe check out the weather. Do an exclamation mark weather. I can't do it myself, but we have definitely over 15 miles an hour. Probably, yep, testing the name. Might have over 20, I would imagine, maybe 20 miles an hour wind right now. So they're not doing any lifts right now. Okay, that's why the crane. You see that the main large crane there on this crane here. The wind is from the northwest. Let me see what it says. Yeah, northwest at 22 miles an hour. So good. So yeah, that's why they move the crane in that direction, so that the wind, as it hits the back of it coming from the northwest, it's facing southeast right now. So that's so it doesn't get blown over by the wind. I was wondering why, but feeling the wind now and seeing what we're looking at, that's why they have the crane facing the southeast. Other than that, they are bringing in methane tankers today. I saw some before walking this way. And with the wind so strong, they're not doing any work on anything right now. It's too windy to be having any aerial lifts up in the air. There are a lot of people on site. There's a lot of trucks on site. So that hasn't changed, but the actual work with any lifts is halted for the moment. Yeah, NASA has a Ocean Worlds theme that they've been bringing out for the last several years, apparently. But we'll see where it goes. Okay, Carl says broadside winds are bad on crane boom. So broadside is from the side, right? You can put micro cracks in the welds. Okay, wow. So broadside would be from one of the left or the right, right? Not from the front or back, from the left or right. So I think that's what it means, broadside. Let me go back to the weather. So it is cloudy, that's true. And the temperature, the wind is from the northwest at 22 miles an hour, 35 kilometers. Humidity is 79%. So yeah, it's pretty humid. Cloudy and wind, 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, yeah, so it's a little chilly too. It's still morning. It's around 9:28 in the morning, December 14th, 2022. So that's about it. Tomorrow's a road closure. I put out a video last night postulating that they would be doing a static fire for the two reasons of they were weed whacking out here. That's a good thing. I'll show that. Yesterday, when I was walking around with the camera, with a Nikon camera, I was coming up this road and I heard some sound. It was from over here. And like, why is there some machinery sound coming from this area, from over here? And I zoomed in with the camera to see what was going on. And yeah, there was a bunch of SpaceX technicians out there with weed whackers. So I mean, in all the time I've been here in the last 2 years, taking video and film and cameras and everything here at SpaceX, I've never seen any SpaceX employees in this area weed whacking. And I believe this is not SpaceX property over here. So maybe they did something with the Fish and Wildlife people or whoever owns this land over here. I'd have to check out the tax map, but they were out there weed whacking. Maybe they have some type of agreement that in order to prevent fires coming up this way when they do the static fire, it went all the way up the way here, 2 miles to the build site, that fire last time. So maybe in order to prevent that, yeah, there's lots of water here, but there's also areas where it could get caught. So. But yeah, if you have any suggestions or anything going on in your life, feel free to share. And I'll probably end this in a couple of minutes, this live stream. I'm just gonna passively see the change in subscriber over the next 24 hours with this type of name. Okay, yeah, Carl says from the side, his broadside means from the side. Carl says, after the fire in the area, Fish and Game were on site for a good week. Oh yeah, so yeah, I believe fire is a good thing in nature, right? Wow. Yep. So that's what's going on this morning. I don't have any more info. There is a road closure tomorrow, still scheduled from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday as well, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday, and then I think Monday is 8 to 8 again. There, if you have any info about the conduit that we're seeing there, the red E stuff, I'd be interested in knowing more about that, the red E conduit. There's a large area, we're to the west of the launch site right now, so we're looking east or southeast right now. So over here is that red E stuff, and they just kind of, they've been preparing a large area in that area too, in this area west of the launch site. They've been excavating it and everything else. So Space Cadet Jimmy, not today, maybe tomorrow, Thursday or Friday, it looks like. There are road closures scheduled for Thursday and Friday. Yeah, but if I'm trying to figure out what the all that red E stuff over here is. That almost brick-like looking material with some tubing through it. Duct bank, says Carl. Okay, what do you think they're planning to do with that? What could they be wanting to duct? Maybe some I thought a while back that they did all the electrical work from the build site to here. You know, they put in a lot of telephone poles from the Brownsville to the SpaceX location. So that was all completed. I imagine they did it to the launch site too, unless they didn't, you know. They put in 3-phase telephone poles, and maybe if that hasn't been done, I imagine it's been done already, but if it hasn't, then maybe they would duct it. The red E duct, says Tony. Space Cadet, it would be for this, we're looking at a Starship here next to the tower. Well, it's not next to it, it's on pad B. This is an optical illusion, but I will zoom out and show you why I got this shot rather than another shot. To the left here, typically we can typically drive over here or put our cameras much further off the road down that way and get a better shot so that it doesn't look like the Starship. Right now it kind of looks like the Starship might be on the launch pad, but it's not. But to stand over, I was initially going to stand over there, but it's a little bit too close to the road to feel comfortable, so I got this shot instead. You can see the land juts out over here. Let's see. So the testing we're looking at, Space Cadet, not today, but tomorrow. We're looking at possibly a testing tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, yeah, so the testing would be maybe a cryo test or a static fire of the Starship. They've been bringing in methane over the last couple days, so that's used for when they do a static fire. The only vehicle here at the launch site is the Starship, so the booster is back at the build site, so they rolled the booster away. Maybe they could bring another booster down tomorrow or the next day, or a second Starship, which they have in the high bay right now. They could bring either the booster that's in the mega bay or the it could be static fire. That's what I'm imagining too, Space Cadet. Jimmy. Okay, Carl says they could. They're going to run power through it. They have a need for more power to the launch site, so it could be for that. One transmission line in each conduit is my guess. Okay, that's a great point there. I was just thinking about what you said, Carl, and I know they have those large trailers on the far side next to the west, to the east of the orbital tank farm over there. They have those 3 or 4 large HVAC and power trailers, right? So maybe they didn't bring the power down here to the launch site, and that is a possibility then, if maybe they're going to replace those trailers with some conduit from the build site, which originates in Brownsville, and that could make sense if they hadn't done it already. I would have thought they'd have done it already, but maybe they didn't, you know. But if they still have those trailers over there, then they have a lack of power. That's good. That's good detective work, guys. Good stuff. And Chris said maybe one phase for each conduit, one transmission line in each conduit. That's cool. The actual launch would probably happen next year. I don't imagine they'll be able to fit it in this year, just because they haven't done the 33 engine static fire on the booster yet, and that's going to take a bit of several weeks probably. So until they get, I know they were having some fitting issues a few months ago when they stacked the Starship on top of the booster. It wasn't exactly vertical, and I think they were doing some fit tests in the last couple of months on the Starship booster connection, and they've been doing a bunch of they just moved a large test thing over to the old Massey's gun range a day or two ago. So they're still doing a bunch of testing. Not sure where they're at with that. Carl says, the red means it's going to have power inside it. Red concrete in the ground tells us not to touch it. That's awesome. I never heard of that, Carl. That's awesome. It is red color, so that's cool. Carl says, they're getting a lot of power from those generators. They need the power brought in. Awesome. Awesome. Where the Starship is currently, if you're new to the stream here, if you're new to the Ocean Worlds, I don't even know the name of the channel. If you're new to NASA Ocean Worlds, the Starship does not launch from, it looks like it's on the orbital launch pad right now, but it's on pad B, and it could do a suborbital launch from the pad B where it's currently at, but if it were on the orbital launch pad right now, it would need to be on top of the booster. Okay. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. So Hanukkah too, and whatever else. Happy New Year. I'm going to be live probably through the end of the year, I imagine. So there's going to be several more days here. Give the name a couple days, Carl. Okay. Okay, it's going good so far. So this is a DBA, doing business as, for a brief moment. But we do have somewhat of an ocean, a lake-like ocean in front of us. And okay, I could talk a little bit more about that. Maybe that'll draw people in. So here, this is here at NASA Ocean Worlds, unaffiliated with the actual government agency, NASA. Our goal is to video and to film the different oceans throughout the solar system, and to take not only take video imagery, but to extract the ocean water, and store it there for future space missions. I've got to have this set in different languages as well. I've got to translate this into like Japanese and Chinese and have subtitled here. That should do it. Okay, I'll wind this up. This is Paul Marcos with Ocean Worlds, NASA Ocean Worlds. This is Paul Marcos with NASA Ocean Worlds, unaffiliated with the actual NASA, but we do care about the video imagery of the oceans on the different moons and planets throughout the solar system. And the goal here is to take the video imagery of those ocean worlds, and we've been at it for almost 2 years now. Thanks for joining. Hey, Robert MP. See you on the next one. Look forward to your comments in the chat below. Appreciate it. Wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, whatever dimension you're coming from, We at NASA Ocean Worlds believe in the many dimensions throughout the galaxy and the solar system, and we aim to allow you to access those dimensions both here and there. Take care.